and she's an Argentinian tango dancer. She says, when I dance with the quattro, I feel both feet on the ground. I feel the proprioception coming out of the ground, and I feel every step I take is effortless. I just glide. I feel comfortable. It has the security I'm looking for in a knee. It allows me to do the moves most people would not believe I could do. So now we're going to talk about the quattro and what makes it that specific. This slide, Lina is going to talk about more in detail later on. But all those three, the speed of the data capture. The knee samples the data 250 times per second. It has 3 sensors. It has the speed of data processing, which makes it the fastest NPK knee on the market. And add that to the customized and continuous valve response. That the valve is always changing. It has no preset position. You can go from which diameter you would like to, depending on what the patient needs. This adds up to this new walking experience for everybody, and that people feel like intuitive response. The natural feeling of walking and a walk like me feeling. So in this, how does this work for your patient and how will it end up in the practical way? So the high sampling data, it gives you that immediate response, changes in gait speed and direction. So this is because it samples the data 250 times per second. So in less than a second, the knee reacts to what you're doing. So if you're walking, changing speed, direction, the knee directly understands what you're doing and therefore changes the speed and understand what you're doing. That gives you this intuitive feeling. The walk like me, feeling the thing, feeling like it feels natural. That makes you feel concentrating less on navigating the terrain and take a look at the surroundings. Often we need to remind people to look up because they are very often looking down on the knee. So you need to look around the surroundings instead. Because you have this valve that Lina is going to talk about more, you can go effortless from like standing to jogging to running and everything in between. You don't have any preset positions. Seamless. And this gives you that increased confidence in your daily life and activity. Also, you have this independent stairs and ramp resistance. So you don't need to compromise a resistance from walking downstairs and ropes and sitting down. Sometimes people feel like, okay, it's very too slow when I'm sitting down and fast in the stairs, we need to compromise. But here you have an independent way that you put your resistance on the stairs and ropes and ramp, and then your other resistant sitting down. So that's very good. You also have this stance lock. You can see the picture down there, that's Brenda. You have the stance lock, so you lock, put the weight on the knee, you have it in a flexible position, you stay there for a second, and then the knee will automatically locked. So you can be safe in that position. You can also disable this if you not want that. The patient can decide. You also have a sitting mode. So that makes it easy to go in and out of the car. So you have flexion more than 90 degrees, you don't have any resistance when it's not loaded. So it's easy to get in and out of the car. We also have these 18 programmable activity modes, and the golfing mode and the cycling mode. So you can customize it as you would like to do it. So you can decide which mode you would like to and customize it on the knee. And it's IP67. That means you can submerge it into water 30 minutes under 1 meter. So that's totally fine. That gives you can participate in the daily activities you would like to. And you also have this cadence and usage report. If you feel that it's interesting, you can see how many steps you have taken, if you're going up the stairs, ramps, etc. So you can really track your daily activity. So the key features and benefits of the knee. So you have the patient and prosthetic programming app. It's very simple to use and simple for the patient to change a little bit if they would like to. You don't need any service within the first 36 months. So you don't need a loader knee, so you don't need to send that in if everything works fine. This has the very shortest build height on the market. It's only 216 millimeter, which makes it easier for the patient user to choose which foot they would like to. And they have made the cylinder on the side, so it's shorter build height. And as I said before, it's fully submersible, it's IP67. And you have the independent resistant stairs, ramps, and sitting, as I told you before as well. And you also have these multiple modes of convenience that you can choose between. Some other benefits is the dynamic alignment. It's not a static, it's a dynamic alignment. You also have this battery booster pack available. So if you need to charge the knee, you have a booster pack that you can take with you and easily charge it on the go. You can also use this as a standing up help, so depending on the activity level. So you can lock it if you like to, and when you stand up, the knee can only extend and not flexion. So if it's like a bit unsure, you would like to stand up, this is a help you can use. And as I said before, the cylinder is put to the side, so you have a bigger flexion angle, 135 degrees, and that gives also the short build height. And as one of the benefits that Lina told me is that bicycle mode is very popular, and from the Dutch people, so in the Netherlands, they bike a lot, so they use this bicycle mode a lot, and it's a very good experience, because if you have this bicycle mode, you can have it on, and you can jump up, go on the bike, you can run the bike, and then you can go off and start walking, and the knee will immediately understand that you are walking, so you don't need to change any mode. So, for who will benefit from this knee? It's all K3 and 4 users for low, moderate to high. Someone who would like the low build height requirement, perhaps a long knee X, or would like another foot, a high one, etc. Who desire a knee that works for them and not works with them and not for them, makes it easier in the daily life. If you have someone that would like to participate in multiple activities, it's a very active life, or have an active lifestyle. If you would like to make some knee adjustments, if you're curious to do that and would like to have some possibilities within the app. And if you'd like to monitor the daily activity life, step count, etc. So here, Elena will take over.
Yeah, it's my turn now. We always show the basic specs, but I think the most important one to notice out is that it's a knee that you can use up to, if you weigh, up to 136 kilograms. And the one that Elin already said is 135 degrees. For most people, that's like, yeah, it's a nice number. With your normal healthy knee, you can bend up to 140 degrees. So it comes really close to a normal natural movement of the knee. The rest I think we already named a few times, so I'm not going to go directly in detail. Yeah, the CPO is talking, so I want to warn you, kind of the boring stuff, how the knee works. Just that you will see the knee more than just on the pictures, we have the 360 degrees pictures, one from the side, where you can nicely see the kneecap on the front, making that you have kind of a patella seeing if you wear it. You have 3 buttons on the front. The first one is if you want to see how much battery you have left, you push that one. If you push the second one, you can see on which activity mode you are, but you can also change to one other mode you have installed for this. The third one, if you want to connect it to your iPad or to your app, it's nice that you can put on the Bluetooth, so that's the lowest one. Elin said already a few things about the cylinder, so I thought we show a picture. You see nicely that the cylinder is more put to the side, and that way it gives you more flexion. Of course, as well, that's where you charge it, all the way in the back. If Elin is talking about a knee that walks like me, how does it do it? It's just a 4-letter word. They describe it as a HART technology. It stands for Hyperactive Real-Time Technology, Control Technology, and I'm going to try to explain a bit how it does it with this slide. I put on, for me on the left, but for you guys on the right, I put how the most MPK knees, so microprocessor knees, are working. It's a valve that's always closed. We have the valve closed to give safety, and we make sure that we open it in steps. You can go to the off, slow walking, and all the way up to running. I compare it with a car because I want to have it visualized. If you drive a manually car, you have to put in the throttle to make sure you can put it in the first gear. Then you can give gas, and if you want to go to the second one, you have to put the throttle in again. Then you can go to the next one. See it as that. You have to go from 1, 2, 3 to 4. It takes a bit of a response time with that kind of valve idea behind it. So they turn it around to the system of the quattro-knee. That's on your guys' left, my guys' right. It's a valve that's always open. It has a really quick response time with the 250 Hertz, so it closes to whatever resistance it needs, how far it needs to be opened. Still, comparing it with cars, it's easy. Take this as just a car that's automatic. Take then the electric car, because those are really fast if you want to give some gas. That's how quick this one's responding. It responds quicker than we can think of it, and that's why the knee feels what you want to do, and it kind of mimics your healthy knee next to it, if you have it on one side. That's how the heart technology works. Very quick response time, open it, close it in whatever size you wanted the valve to give the resistance.